No name is as evocative of the Silk Road as Samarkand. For most people, it has the mystical resonance of Zanzibar or Timbuktu, fixed in the Western popular imagination by imaginative poets and playwrights, few of whom saw the city in the flesh. Samarkand, a renowned historical city in Uzbekistan, was once a vital stop along the Great Silk Road. As the capital of Amir Timur or Tamerlane's empire, it flourished under the guidance of his grandson Ulugh Beg, Mirza Ulugh Beg, who transformed the city into a hub for scientific and cultural advancements in the East. The city's well-preserved medieval architectural monuments have earned it a place on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Now, a vibrant blend of ancient Eastern traditions and modernity, Samarkand stands as the third largest city in Uzbekistan, with a population exceeding 500,000. Each year, it welcomes thousands of visitors from around the globe who come to experience its rich history and unique charm. Samarkand is Uzbekistan's undisputed claim to fame and a jewel among Uzbekistan attractions. This magnificent city remains cloaked in its past splendor as the capital of the powerful Timurid Empire, which in its heyday stretched across Asia from eastern Turkey to India. The city was a haven for caravan traders, intellectuals, and Islamic scholars. A heritage still evident in the handicrafts, religious schools, and observatory for which Samarkand is now known. We invite you to this crossroad of cultures, where history and legend are almost magically intertwined at each site. Each of these top 10 things to do in Samarkand have something unique to offer. First is the Rajasthan Square. The crowning jewel of Samarkand, Rajasthan Square once served as the central plaza of Tamerlane's renowned capital. This carefully restored 15th to 17th century ensemble now constitutes a UNESCO site and Uzbekistan's most popular attraction. Its three imposing monuments, Ulugbek Madrasa, the Shirdor Madrasa, and Tilakor Madrasa, dwarf everything in their vicinity and have a near hypnotic way of arresting the gaze of many an admiring visitor. Take your time to amble through each monument, which, though filled with souvenir stalls, still convey an air of past royalty. Visit at night to see the Rajasthan transformed in a sea of lights. Come at sunrise, and the serene complex is otherworldly. For a special experience, plan your trip around Shark Tarunalari, an international music festival held at Rajasthan Square every other August.
Madaniyat, ma'naviyat, tamaddunlisan, ilm urfon, davlatchilik markazisan, ko'ngil Ka'basidan joy olgan maskan Samarqand.
And leader behind Samarkand's shocking beauty. Tamerlane, known locally as Amir Timur, is buried in a mausoleum that rivals some palaces. With its trademark turquoise cupola, glazed bricks, and lavish marble designs, Gur Emir served as the blueprint for the Taj Mahal and is now one of the most recognizable landmarks in Uzbekistan. Interestingly, Tamerlane never intended to be buried at Gur Emir, or even in Samarkand for that matter. Yet, after a series of unforeseen events, he now lies interred in his capital alongside several close relatives and a mentor. While the courtyard views of Gur Emir are amazing in themselves, the inner crypt is truly a sight to behold. On-site guides offer short tours in English, and while their stories may mingle fact with fiction, they certainly enhance the experience. Return at night and you will be rewarded with the sight of Gur Emir Mausoleum in an otherworldly glow.
It's gone. Ah, poor God. Oh no. It's beautiful. It's very awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh no. They use pure marbles. Marbles. Wow.
Bibi Khanim Mosque, one of the largest mosques in the world at the time of construction in the early 15th century. Bibi Khanim Mosque was built in the throes of victory following Amir Timur's conquest of India. Depending on which account you believe, the cutting-edge construction was either dedicated to Bibi Khanim, Timur's favorite wife, or was built by the queen as a surprise for her husband on his return from battle. Either way, the overachiever architects compromised structural integrity for size, and the building began to crumble in a few short years. Miraculously, Bibi Kanim remained partially intact until recent large-scale repairs helped to stabilize this monstrous beauty, now one of the most famous landmarks in Uzbekistan. What Bibi Kanim lacks in luster is compensated for through its sheer size and the colorful myths surrounding it. A huge stone Quran with which adorns the courtyard is rumored to impart fertility, so do not be surprised if you see young women crawling under its stand.
बोलियो oil saçında yok.
içinde kaldırdı. Sonra iyice yine de söylediler. Kaçırmadılar buradan. Burada sakladık. Biraz dışarıda.
Sia Bazaar. When you're ready to step out of Tamerlane's historic empire into modern Samarkand, look no further than the lively Sia Bazaar, located right next to Bibi Khanim
So
Mosque.
big, wow.
Visiting this bazaar is a must thing to do in Samarkand.
So big, very
Rows
big.
upon rows of aisles away with the colors of sparkling fabrics, eye-catching souvenirs, and seasonal fruits are a feast for the eyes, while the scent of Samarkand's famous bread and the high-spirited invitation of the sellers to taste their products prove an irresistible temptation for many travelers. Siam Bazaar is a fabulous place to wander at leisure, and people watch as you soak in all the sights and sounds.
How much is this?
28,000.
This one? This one?
This one 28,000.
Okay, okay. I will pay now.
Shaki Zinda. The shimmering azure corridor of Shaki Zinda, the living king, is a favorite of many travelers to Uzbekistan. Flanking either side of its massive central stairway are some 20 buildings and tombs of royal and religious greats, which are decorated with thousands of colorful tiles. The tombs were built gradually between the 11th to 15th centuries, yet the basic structure of each is nearly identical, giving the site a stately, uniform look. The visual effects as you ascend the stairs in a sea of blue and green majolica is nothing short of a spectacular. Many of the tombs have been renovated,
Ticket.
while others
much?
retain elements of their original facades, and all are beautiful in their own right. A superb spot for photos, particularly in the morning. Remember to be mindful of the many local religious tourists who regard the sites as holy. A unique ensemble of ancient tombs, 1370 to 1449 years, is located near Afrasiab settlement. It is also called Street Cemetery, building of mosques and mausoleums of 11th to 15th century oddly stretch on both sides, and their blue domes look like an elegant necklace from the top. Shakizinda is the burial place of royal persons and nobles, but the main mausoleum from which the necropolis starts seems to be the imaginary grave of Prophet Muhammad's cousin Kusam ibn Abbas. The complex was called Shakizinda, that means in Persian, the living king. He was one of those who preached Islam in that region. Later, the complex became an important pilgrimage center that was revered by the people as sacred. In accordance with the legend, Kusam ibn Abbas came to preach in Samarkand in 700 or 640, spent there in 13 years, and was beheaded by the Zoroastrians during his prayer. The grave of Kusam ibn Abbas attracted to Samarkand many adherents of religious or spiritual tourism, because even in the Middle Ages, a pilgrimage to the grave of the living king was equated to make a Hajj. According to a legend, water source at the grave possesses healing power. All mausoleums complex, Shakizinda, form a single composition. Each of them is a square building with a dome, the entrance to which is highlighted by a portico. Is rich in an architectural decoration of buildings which are used irrigation bricks, majolica tiles, carved mosaic. The last construction is the main entrance to the crypt Shakizinda, which completes the whole ensemble. The inscription on the main entrance reads, "The magnificent building created of Abulazihnum, son of Lugbek, Guragana, son of Shahrukh, son of Amir Timur, Guragana, in 838 year, 1434 to 35 AD. After rising to 36 steps, you will find yourself on an open gallery. Here the left and right are crypts, the mausoleum of Tamerlane's relatives. The gallery ends with a round courtyard with a vaulted arch under it. On the right, there is an ancient carved door which leads to the main shrine of ensemble Shakizinda, mausoleum of Kusam ibn Abbas, a cousin of the Prophet Muhammad. There is a legend about him as the Shakizinda, the living king. This is Istanbul Nasifi Mausoleum, Ustu Ali. Ah, everything is wow. Wow. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Series of mausoleum. There's plenty of architecture like this here in Uzbekistan. Almost all day. There are tombs over there also. Wow, very nice. Resting place. I know mausoleum. Wow, very good. Marble. Wow. Amir Hussein Mausoleum. Oh no, look at this structure. Blue glaze style. Turkish color. Want to go inside the tomb? Oh, it's pure white. Pure white, see? Pure white at all. There are 4 tombs here. The family of Amir Hussein. Wow, look at this. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my gosh. Complex tomb. Look at the complex tomb. Wow. Very beautiful. There is the tomb of the baby. And look at this beautiful architecture. Wow, this is so magnificent. Timur's wife. Wow. Look at this beautiful picture. Look at this beautiful architecture. Wow. It's really wow. Ulugbek Observatory. The legacy of Ulugbek is almost as pervasive in Samarkand as that of Tamerlane himself, a grandson of Tamerlane best known for his work in the field of astronomy. Ulugbek built the largest observatory in medieval Central Asia and is recognized as one of the greatest astronomers of his day, although most of the 3-story observatory was destroyed long ago. Its sizable underground art has survived as a testimony to Ulugbek's ingenious contributions to the field of science, one of the most visited landmarks and attractions in Uzbekistan. Ulugbek Observatory provides a refreshing intermission from madrasas and mausoleums and its fascinating museum. Daniel's tomb. Lest you think a
before.
single grave is not worth a small
Maybe a
detour,
little bit picture
know
here.
that Daniel's tomb is not your ordinary burial site. An 18-meter long, above ground coffin is said to hold the remains of the biblical and Quranic prophet Daniel, whose grave is revered by many local Muslims. The details of how the casket was transported from Iran to Uzbekistan
Why?
and why
Why
such
it's
an
too
enormous
long?
coffin is needed to hold his remains are dubious, but instead of listing the tourists here, we encourage you to ask Uzbeks for their interpretation of
We will go now,
events.
we will go.
After viewing
What
the
is this,
massive coffin of Daniel's tomb, take note
Rocks,
of the
harder.
500-year-old
Bet
pistachio
Baroch
tree
Eliuddin.
growing nearby and the natural spring
there.
at the base of the hill whose water is considered holy.
There is synagogue there. Where is the synagogue?
Synagogue is
There, inside. How many synagogue here? How many?
two maybe.
Two. Because I visited one. I don't know if it's the same place.